Hi guys, how are you today? Well, let's talk about the superconscious. I love the superconscious. My goodness, thanks God we've got the superconscious. Thanks God we've given the code to be able to treat absolutely everything. This is incredible, the tool that we have, and this needs to be told to the whole world. And let me talk about the superconscious so you understand in the easiest possible way what the superconscious is and what it can do. I've worked extensively now with the superconscious, not to mention that my husband is a complete expert on this field. And I offer a new definition of it. The superconscious is what Carl Jung called the collective consciousness or the subconscious. It's a way that he worked with the superconscious with dream archetypes, which are personalities that have been split from us and require integration. And I did all the process of integrating that years and years back. The superconscious is actually completely independent of the conscious and unconscious mind and can identify, access, and treat mental issues, physical issues, and remove any barriers and boundaries, like, for example, abundance to, if you are living in scarcity, to have financial wealth. Which, if you don't have financial wealth, then it's merely a core belief that you are simply not meant to have that. It's a belief that can be changed using the superconscious, as easy as that. We need to be it before we say it. So how many people I meet, and the first thing that they said to me, I don't have the money. And the moment they said that, they're programming the reality with the word that they're speaking, and they'll continue not to have money because that's what they truly believe and what they said to the whole world. And that belief system, in order for them to be wealthy, it needs to be changed to I'm wealthy, money comes abundantly and frequently, till it's a core belief that is true. You know it's true. Like, I don't have any issues with money. I know I've got abundance of money. I've always have and I always will, meaning that I'm programming my reality like that. And any barriers to abundance that I had in the past, they've been removed. So that means that that code has been changed from my DNA, and my DNA knows, it doesn't think, believe, or hope, knows 100% that I'm always going to have financial abundance. The superconscious also operates within the hidden reality. It's an invaluable underappreciated resource that can be used in any healing or treatment process. I believe the superconscious operating in the hidden reality is a quality of our soul, is our higher self, is the God within. The superconscious was used through giving instructions to the superconscious by the methods to change our DNA code and make us into human batteries, slaves. That code that was used is now revealed fully. First it was revealed by Gary Flynn, and now it's revealed by me in a much easier way. And it's the only one code that can change your DNA back to being a god in human form, like I am a goddess in human form. My divinity, my kitten, is a little goddess in human force, and my husband is a god in human force. We are not humans, we are not batteries, guys. Yeah, I work with the superconscious all the time. I'm always recording. We see numbers. And for some people, when they first listen to this, it might appear a complex part of our personality, but it's not. It's been actually present from conception. The superconscious, until trained to do more, is usually active in creative activity, in life-threatening situations, and in providing insight or intuition in novel situations. Is there to help us. The superconscious, I would say, is like an inner observer who usually does not get hurt by trauma. It hasn't got emotions like the conscious and unconscious minds. By communicating with the superconscious, I learn to problem solve difficult issues by identifying the structure of traumatic memories that cause the issue for my clients. Thanks to Gary Flint, I learned that the superconscious could be to treat issues. I could tell the superconscious, please do this, and treat that issue from my client. So as a coach and therapist, I developed a description of the personality for this approach using memory structures as the basic component. And I call this the process healing method, or the automated brain record method. The superconscious operates to provide extra normal skills passed from generation to generation from the superconscious of ancestors who acquired these skills, meaning from the parents to the child, and from the ancestors, parents, and child. These extra normal skills provide stronger connections to what we call the ninth dimension and sensitivity to other field information. I don't want to go into much detail in what, but I want to touch a little bit into dimensions, because if we apply our 11-dimensional theory to the development of the human body from inception, as the fetus evolves through the creation of the cells, the number of 0 points increases to meet the demands of the developing person. The growth of the fetus managed by the 10th dimension is merely the ordered creation of a representation in the 0 through 9 dimensions based on the use of templates of information or code in those dimensions of fields that are from the matrix that they're giving us the code into in our DNA are fields of code. Throughout this process, an increasing number of 0 points serves the fetus and later the adult by creating a lifetime of behavior and a unique personal feel of that person. Some 0 points continue creating the soul after death, namely the personal 0 points on the 5th dimension, the 6 to the 9. This process is probably true of all living creatures, mammals, birds, fish, insects, and so forth, cats. We all have a matrix code, and without it, we couldn't be in this holographic 3D reality. We could be in paradise land. So if we remove the code, and we are awakened, we are in paradise within, although that we are still in the matrix to be able to serve the source. But we can see both the light and the truth. When you are talking to the superconscious, you always have to stay, on your toes kind of thing to begin with for responses that might not meet your expectation, because an intruding soul, the matrix, will try to put a barrier on it. But usually the communication, I feel, really is undistorted. The superconscious is there to help us. And also, if the answer is not what I feel it should be, I'll always say, I'm talking to the superconscious. Am I talking to another part? Is there a barrier there that I need to? And if it's yes, the superconscious helps me to remove that barrier so I can talk to the superconscious. And if I'm doing an intervention and communication stops, then I ask the superconscious, does this part wants to be treated? And then we treat the part and I go back to what needs to be done. Basically, the superconscious has provided for me the way to explain the pain of the soul and the treatment process that we need to heal the souls and make the souls break free. The superconscious is able to treat all memories associated with the pain related to the initial trauma from the time of the trauma to the present time, because our traumas, the things that make us unhappy and put barriers because of the fear of that trauma that we've experienced. And if you work with the superconscious for a little while, you'll see how easy it is to follow your intuition, because you're receiving cues from your client superconscious, because it's talking to your superconscious, because at superconscious level, you're all one. Yeah. I sometimes make some intuitive guesses, and sometimes I make up the intervention to clear some memory structures, but it always works for the best of the client. The process healing method, or the brain record, is a treatment intervention for a wide variety of mental and physical issues, basically for everything. The discovery of this method, took Gary and myself by surprise. He was an experimental psychologist. I did psychology and counseling myself. He was a man of science that found a treatment method that was simply extraordinary. He could hardly deny what was happening before his eyes. The theory behind this method is force him as a psychologist to shift his way of thinking about the causes of why we behave on the way we behave. Is because of a set of instructions. And this is a shift that I'm inviting you guys, all of you, to read, to make this shift with us and understand the importance of the superconscious. A major part of this shift in thinking is that these methods use the superconscious in all stages of the therapy and the treatment method. the superconscious have been there with us from the beginning. It is a brain process that starts to learn before we even have sensory experience. I learned to trust the use of the superconscious to do treatment interventions and to certify the accuracy of metaphors designed to model our mental processes and behaviors. We use metaphors to speak to the superconscious. Chris Duncan from Conscious Education wrote the Superconscious Code and brought it to the world. Unfortunately, he ensured most was kept secret. I advised his students and everybody not to learn from Gary Flynn, the one who actually knew everything and passed it as a nice, genuine person. Chris Duncan devised some short treatment plan to manipulate people's mind and get them hooked into the never-ending, highly paid courses and weekly treatment process. Chris records, of course they were. They had to in order to get the message following him like puppets, but only to a point. It does not help anyone reach their full power. He doesn't even mention intruding fields. He doesn't even mention awakening people to be in the present or be enlightened, but the experience oscillation instead. So more records are needed. It's a never-ending loop of making many. And for me, that's selfish and greedy, guys. I'm not a matrix agent, and I couldn't care less about money. Never have and never will. Money for me just comes easily. So I have decided to take some action and wrote 2 manuals that explain the healing treatment method or the rapid brain record method in detail, but in a very simple way, so people can treat themselves. And yes, of course, it's going to be so much more efficient and faster if you get a coach like myself or my husband, especially doing this treatment process to you. But for those who have money boundaries, the books are the best solution. Just by reading the book, even if you don't understand it to begin with, your brain is being recorded. So I've updated, and there was 2 new versions. The first ones, the ROM version went out. I don't know what happened with Amazon. They're not very good when you do books. But at the moment, I've got 2 amazing new versions. One is about the brain record method, and the other one is about removing intruding fields, so what we call psychic vampires that suck our energy from our personal field. And I have just during Christmas updated these 2 books to make them not only easier, but to actually have every single record you can think: phobias, physical issues, body boundaries, relationship issues, mental health issues, and a list of barriers that you may find and you can easily remove. I don't need you to buy the books, but I hope you do, and you do the decent thing and pass this incredible knowledge to others, because it treats everything and there is no side effects, guys. Who wants to go to a doctor and take tablets and medications that are conditioned to put chips within to send electrical impulses to our mind to control our thoughts? We don't want that. We want to be in charge of our superconscious and instruct the superconscious on what we want our life to be, like I have. So here are the books. The first one is the Rapid Automated Record Method. And the second one is a healing manual on removing intruding fields. That's all you need. And honestly, Gary Flynn books that are that thick, really, really complex to understand. You need to be enlightened. I mean, how many people I know from Conscious Education, they bought the books and they don't understand it, yeah? But mine is a simple manual that tells you, can you see in bold, this is all you need to do, and just wait for the response. It's a sample after example after example. It just couldn't be any easier. Anybody can do it. Anybody can use it. So guys, you can buy them in Amazon. I just put the link there, and I hope you go and get them and read them and see the benefits of what you can achieve just by reading this book. Anyway, guys, till next video. Goodbye.